All right, happy Friday. Let's take a look at some horror comics for the month of October for Halloween. Um, Baron Werewolf's Haunted Library, number 44. Number 42. Again, I love how it looks like it just goes on because you can see the entrance way back there that's lit up and the bones scattered all the way through. And then you can see all these little eyes and creatures like spiders everywhere for eat her alive, I guess. And then we're looking at number 32. Got a dragon on there for us. Number 25. Now you got a question. Is that a head in a box or a mirror? But I think it's a head in a box. Kind of reminds me of the Scooby-Doo episode where, even though it was a wooden head, because the guy was pretending to be the headless guy where they were, he put a fake looking head in a box and they panicked because they thought it was a real head. Got a little nice little crazy back creature cover on that one. Number 36. Number 27. A little bit of the brain going on there. That looks like Mark Twain actually getting scared by, by the brain creature. Number 31. Beyond the Grave, number 11. She looks all intense on her book as she is relaxing in her chair and all around her. Now, if you look, even though it's a newsstand, it is the later years of Charlton. And once we get into the 60 cent, even as much as 75, that would be the later years of Charlton as they were winding down. And number 13. Now this one, as you can tell, has a few staining. I'd like to see if I can slowly pull that stains out and see if I can kind of get it back to where it'll have just that solid orange color for it. Basil Worthington's Planet of Terror. Excuse me, that's the reprints I think that Dark Horse did. And let's see. We dare you to take Silver Scream, Tales of Fear and Terror. This is the recollection stuff where they were reprinting a bunch of different stuff. So, and then I'm going to skip a lot of the sci-fi kind of stuff for right now. And the Pictures of the Unknown is go through our Ripley's Believe It or Not. You gotta love the Ripley Believe It or Not. Jack Palance would always do his intro, his little Believe It or Not. I always enjoyed that. I think even maybe Dean Cain done a version of this later years. I can't remember now. I'll set those aside so we don't keep getting a glare. This is number 51. Interesting because it's true war stories, and this has got The Last Kamikaze, The Balloon Buster. Again, Metarogan, and we're talking about the balloon and bubble covers. So, and Combat on the High Seas. So, and then you get the guy is stealing, but he's going to end up becoming cursed because he's in there stealing from the plagued people. A woman suffers for her husband's crime, and the victim's victim. You see? Please believe it or not, true ghost stories. The stone of death arose and walked, and the silent night. Weird, eerie, authentic. Little 30s center there. This is like that neat kind of superimposed the way they do when they just kind of do it. It's not like actual color, but got that looks like a real skull in the background with the eyes. True Demons and Monsters, Servant Dark Master. It's number 87. And some of these used to have, as you can tell, this says 87 at the top, but this has nothing. So some of them would, some of them wouldn't. I've been meaning to go in and put the actual cover number on them so I would know. I love the way that one looks as a horse is coming up. Sort of like a Sleepy Hollow kind of feel. And how about her doing her thing? A voice from beyond the grave. Oops. Let me move this forward. I apologize. I've been meaning to do the there we go. I've been meaning to do Captain Strangelife's suggestion is putting the thing on the bottom of the box so nothing really slides around like that, and it keeps it in place. It's a great idea. I just hadn't got up to get anything like that to be able to stick it at the bottom of the box. And again, I'm kind of going through seeing what I'm keeping, not keeping. Like all this, I never got into horror as a kid, but I do love the art on a lot of these. Some of the stories are just, out there enough. So this is Black Magic number 1, Simon Kirby special. Black Magic number 7. That's the freak upstairs. She wanted to know what it was. Little Secrets of Haunted House. Guy selling his soul to the devil. Secrets of Haunted House number 22. I have more of these, but I don't have them in this box because, again, I'm composing, putting all these together to know. But this is a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde story that's in Supernatural Thrillers number 4. I think I've only got one or something like that left of the series to complete, but these, of course, are beautiful books, but Strange Adventures really became a sci-fi, title if you really look at it. So I'm thinking about dividing these out into sci-fi, even though they kind of start different. So that's where it does become hard to separate sci-fi, and like this is not You got Adam Strange on the side, but then you got this whole kind of sci-fi horror kind of story about a gorilla. And this one, of course, there he is again. You got the Atomic Knights, but you also have this story that runs with it. It's a sci-fi kind of story again. But then you kind of go back to this, it would be sort of, even a Twilight Zone episode of some guy, doing all of what he's doing, getting taken in by the birds. So, now back to our regular scheduled program. We'll go back to Scary Tales, another Charlton. You can see the Ditko in that. Again, just the styling as he started to get to. Again, now they're up into the 60-cent range. So again, we're starting to get near the end of some of that line. I think Charlton had 4 books at the end of everything, by the time everything was said and done. And we're going to do some Boris Karloff. Sorry. Okay, that's the start of the ones I have. Now again, my boxes right now are still disorganized because after purging the first time through, I'm now going back through. I'm trying to organize things into boxes for the horror, boxes for potentially sci-fi. I got to see how much I've got of that to go together. I'm kind of putting pulp characters together, things like, and I'm considering things like, Lone Ranger, Buck Rogers, the Phantom, Zorro, Doc Savage, all to be pulp style characters that I'm trying to put into, the Shadow. All of them are going into one box. Tarzan, I feel like, falls in that, but I have so much Tarzan because I'm a big fan. I probably got over 2 boxes of Tarzan related material, so I'm not 100% sure that may just be Tarzan boxes by the time I'm done, because I may not have space to put anything with it. But again, when you're saving space, you'll figure out. But Boris Karloff, Tales of Mystery. That one was number 27. Again, got this knight being a creature up there, and the knight going down the stairs. And they'll be getting, they're kind of mixed up right now. It's number 93. And he's shooting away at that creature, and it's what everybody's kind of in horror as I do. I like that one. Just the way he looks as he's trying to hold him off, and this other creature. It's just like a nightmare where nobody else really sees it but him. And again, I think some of these covers are just, hey, look now, 48 pages, are excellent. How about that one? See, this is, again, now 48 pages, so that's when they converted into that. This is an older one, of course, 25 cent. He begins to see everybody like they're monsters. You can tell how he's gone kind of bonky. Now this one's interesting. Jack be nimble, Jack be quick, and raise the devil. If you look, it's a kid, but look at the demon-looking horse the kid's on, and going around messing with all the weather vanes and stuff. So, excuse me, I'm thinking of that. It's Jack be nimble, but I'm like trying to understand that one. But like I said, this is just wild looking right there. I know we're focused on this giant hand and the guy's tearing. It's like you can see this person's throwing stuff off. But what I really like about this is how this sets it off. I mean, it's such great work on the bridge, the city, the sky behind there. So it's really neat looking the way they got it done that way. So a little bit of Twilight Zone. Again, it's a Whitman on that one. So, and you know they never had numbers on the front. Another Twilight Zone. If you like cats, they're actually there. I know that on the Comic Book Memories on Saturday, they have the part of it where they introduce all the cats. I don't think they talk about these cats, though. Now this is another one. That truly is not a horror comic because of the fact that it kind of started like that, but then it kind of went to, make sure, yeah, okay. We're almost there, guys. So hopefully you enjoyed seeing some different books anyway. Let's see, go check. If you look, 168, you really see 169. All of these are more superhero related in these early times. 161, Plastic Man, King Candy, I think, his first appearance. 160, 158. But then you look at these and you begin to see that they became a horror. See, that's where separating the two and putting House of Mystery, this part, in the horror section, while the other part in the sci-fi section couldn't work. That's why I was saying I'm probably going to make a box for both because of titles like this and Strange Adventures and stuff like that. Again, and this is Big Boy, so it's during their time for 100 pages for 60 cents, so that's a big error. Little demonic baby. And then Hellhounds, Vampires. Again, like I said, this is another dollar. You get 80 pages now for that dollar. Remember when they went to that? That was hard for me because, and I bought a couple of the war ones and stuff like that at the time, but just knowing I'm going to spend $1, even though I'm getting 80 pages, it was rough because you always thought, well, at that time, I think comics were still 40 cents. So I could almost get 3 for the price of this $1 one. So sometimes you had to weigh out your choices. So here, iVampire. And back to the superhero related ones. It started out, in there, 170, 171, 172. And again, odd stories, but still tying it with superhero related stuff. 162. Now, back into some more of the horror. Again, I've got to organize all this, but Plant gonna basically consume him. That's a wild looking face on that Plant creature. Devil taking him See, I would have went for the redhead. It's just me. Another, see, destroy the cat statue. Bad guy probably trying to steal the money, but then the cat demon comes out. Again, a little bit of cats being depicted under, things like that. And then this guy coming up. Here's those kids, may be different, but there's always kids. Got to cover the youngest one's mouth because we're looking up, and this guy's carrying a body into this house. Look at the beautiful design of that building, how the stairs are and stuff. And look at how it transitions from this dark side. It's like, real darkish gray to this lightish gray. And how this green is and stuff. It just makes them and him really pop from where it is. If you look, it's sort of that triangle where it is, where they're at. And then this one, another dollar one from that time period. All right. Last round of stuff. I'm going to go with the EC reprints, done by Gladstone. Again, there's the Vault Keeper, the Crypt Keeper, and the Old Witch. All of them made their appearances in the EC comics. And again, these are reprints of those. This is number 1, number 3, and number 5. Now, this is probably my favorite one of it. I just really like how she's done and how he looks like when he's coming back to her. It's kind of just real neat. Now, I believe I completed the Tales of Evil by Atlas. Atlas was very short-lived comic series, but they did have up to as many as 4 books for some stuff. Again, 4 books would have put them at maybe 4 months at the most once they started. It wasn't like, because again, when people go on about Image, go on about McFarlane and Liefeld and all of them guys, and Jim Lee saying that how they revolutionized things by breaking out, creating their own comic book company, and being the first and all this kind of stuff. A lot of times they're not, because Atlas did that. See, Atlas had the exact same kind of didn't like how they were treated. Some of the people, I won't get too deep into it, but when they didn't like how they were treated, they decided they would move over. He started his comic book company, and then as an end result, brought over people that basically were going to, be competitive against people like Marvel. As you can tell, if you stuck a Marvel logo on this, it has an exact feel of Marvel. The only difference is Marvel and DC cornered the market so much that a new company basically was smothered out at the time. Image just happened to come in at a time that it worked to break off. The fan base knew about it more about the 90s, so in the 70s, it was less known in the way it should have been, so that these people would get the credit. Which another one from that line is Planet of Vampires. Again, some beautiful work on these books. And again, we get vampires. Again, these are astronauts who come back down to the planet of vampires. Oops. Got 2 of those. And then number 3. And I'm trying to remember, I gotta look again, but I kept thinking this was the end of that. But I'm trying to remember if it was actually was 4, not 3. So it's another one I gotta check. A little bit of House of Mystery. He's peeking out at him when he's there trying to choke that girl. And I love this. Her beautiful green dress, and this almost looks photographed. And then you look at the big bird claw over here as it scares her to run that way, and she runs right into it. And then this one looks like the witch came back to go after the guy. And if you look, the book he's reading is called Witchcraft. So it's driving forward the witch from it. And then here, this kid looks like he's having all kinds of excitement, but she's realized what's going on, and that looks like it's one of the tires from there that just popped off there. And the last one is number 198. Now, if you look, really neat background looking creature behind there. It's the Day of the Demon, and Mordock lives. Guessing these are the worshippers, potentially, and that's Mordock in the background getting ready to come out. So, figured I'd show some Halloween comics or horror comics on Friday, and hopefully y'all enjoyed it. Even some of the sci-fi ones that gets in there. So let me know what you think. Let me know what your favorites are. I know this is a much longer video, but I wanted to kind of show all these. I appreciate all of y'all. Thanks everybody. Have a good Friday. Appreciate the thumbs up, the likes, and the comments. Have a good one.